Hat may please be excused from class.
Well, Kyle.
Yes.
You hear me? You got it.
Hack.
You got it.
Hack.
You did.
Have a great day. Hello everybody and welcome. I am the Shy Hat and this is HackerFrogs. HackerFrogs After School. This is a program which teaches beginners cybersecurity skills in a easy to understand format for beginners. Alright, so today we're going to be starting a whole new course, and with that we're going to be introducing everybody to a new topic. That's what we're going to do, and today we're going to be introducing web app hacking. So what is web app hacking? That is hacking web applications. That is anything that you can access through a internet connection. That is kind of a broad definition, but we're going to try to explain it as we go along. All right, so HackerFrogs After School is a cybersecurity program for learning beginner cybersecurity skills across a wide variety of subjects. This video is the intro to web app hacking. So first of all, we need to define what web app hacking is. What web app hacking is the intentional abuse of systems and applications accessed via the internet by a user, which benefits that user in some way. This benefit can take the form of access to unauthorized data or systems, the deletion of data, denial of website services, or any number of other benefits to the hacker. So in order to learn web app hacking, we must learn about the internet, how websites work, and a good amount about the technologies and software found in that space. So most students know at least the basics of using a web browser and how to use websites. So we're going to build on those skills to establish a collection of techniques to explore and hack web applications found on the internet. So what is important to note is that at no time during our study of web app hacking will we engage in testing or hacking of websites or internet spaces that A, we do not own, or B, are not intentionally set up as learning environments for web app hacking education. Okay, so we're not going to be engaging in any illegal activities during the conduct of this course. So just bear that in mind. We're going to be doing everything by the book. So secondly, we're going to talk about CTFs. HackerFrogs after-school classes prefer to incorporate CTF games into the classes for a more interactive experience. But what are CTFs? Cybersecurity Capture the Flag, that is CTF games, are training exercises where the goal of the exercise is to capture the flag through use of cybersecurity skills. In this context, capture means to gain access to a file or other resource, and flag refers to a secret phrase or password. The CTF game we'll be playing to learn basic web app hacking skills is called Natas, which is hosted on the Overthewire CTF network. The Overthewire network hosts several different CTF games. The Natas CTF game is made up of many levels of increasing difficulty, and the initial levels, 0 through 10, are going to cover the target web app hacking techniques for this course. So in the next workshop, which we're going to be starting right away, we're going to be beginning our journey into web exploitation with the Natas CTF game. All right, so that was the intro, and we're going to be jumping into the content of this first workshop over here, and this is Overthewire Natas Part 1. We're going to be doing 3 workshops on Overthewire Natas, that CTF game, and then we're going to be moving on to some more advanced topics after that. So this is the first workshop in our Intro to Web App Hacking course, and before we start, let's introduce the learning materials that we're going to be working through in the course. So the CTF game we're playing is called Natas, and we're going to be finishing the first 4 levels 0 to 3 in this one workshop here, in this current session, and it's going to target web app hacking techniques for this workshop. To learn more about the Natas CTF rules, we're going to navigate to the following URL, which is this one right here, overthewire.org/wargames/Natas. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody the URL in the chat. So if you please take a look in the chat, you should see the link there. Please use that link if you want to take a look at the webpage with us. So let's make this text a little bit bigger so that you can see what's going on. So this is the overthewire.org website, and this is the Natas War Game section. And let's read along, and there's a short little explanation here. Natas teaches the basics of server-side web security. Each level of Natas consists of its own website, located at http://natas.natas.labs.overthewire.org, where X is the level number. There is no SSH login. To access a level, enter the username for that level, for example, Natas0 for level 0, and its password. Each level has access to the password of the next level. Your job is to somehow obtain the next password and level up. All passwords are stored in the /etc/natas_webpass directory. So this detail right here indicates that the Natas web server is running on a Linux machine because the location of the passwords, if you're able to access the web server directly, is in this common Linux directory right here, /etc. So for example, the password for Natas 5 is stored in the file /etc/natas underscore webpass /natas5, and is readable by natas4 and natas5. So it says start here, username natas0, password natas0, and a URL over here, which is for natas0.natas.labs.overthewire.org. So everybody, let's navigate over there. So I'll be copying the link in the chat for everybody to use, and we're going to go over to Natas level 0. Okay, so immediately when we arrive on the web page, we see that there's a sign-in box over here. It says that here we have to enter our username and password for the game. So remember, we were provided with a password and username and a password, and the username and password are the same thing. They're both going to be natas0. So if you need to reference that, I'm going to paste that in the chat. So it's natas0 as the username and natas0 as the password. So after that, click on sign in. And here we are on the first level of the Natas CTF game. All right, so let's make that a little smaller. All right, so everybody, if you're here for the web app hacking workshop, please type hacking in the chat right now. So hacking, and add some smileys, if you please. All right, so here we are at the, and if you need the link for this particular level of the Natas CTF game, here's the link over here. Sorry, something in my throat. So the when you get to the page, it'll ask for a username and password. The username and password are both going to be natas0. Notes by Nisha, hello and welcome. Notes by Nisha, I guess you might have done some of the stuff in this workshop before, but I hope you can learn something nonetheless. All right, so you can find the password for the next level on this page. So if you were to come across a web app and you wanted to do some testing on it, what are some of the first things you would try to test the website? Anybody in chat can type in the answer. Otherwise, we'll be walking through the solution in just a little bit. Well, I'm glad to hear you're excited about learning web app hacking stuff. So this is part 0, and we're talking about HTTP source code. So what's HTTP source code? Web browsers are going to render out web pages based on the HTTP code provided by the web server. Every web browser allows us to view a web page's HTTP source code. So in any browser, including on the Natas0 website over here, we can view the HTTP source code. Does anybody know how to access the HTTP source code? There are a couple of common ways to do so. So the first method you could use to access the HTTP source code is to right-click on any web page, and then you'll see the drop-down menu over here. Notes by Nisha has it correct. It is right-click and view source. So one of the options in here should be view page source. You can see here that there is also the Control-U shortcut. So you can click on this, and you see that there's the here is the source code for this website over here. So everything you see inside of the web browser is dictated by the code in this kind of file right over here. Okay, and what are we taking a look at? We're taking a look at, whoops, where was I? So for web app testing, this allows us to find interesting directories, developer comments, and more. So there's all sorts of interesting stuff you can see inside of a web app's source code. So what we're interested in on this level is this information right here. So this, but first let's talk about this portion. So this portion right here is known as a comment inside of the HTTP code. So everything between this arrow right here and this arrow right here is not going to be rendered out by the web browser and is intended to be a comment. So it says the password for Natas1 is this string right here. So just for convenience's sake, I'm going to copy this password and I'm going to provide it to everybody in chat. All right, so the goal is to level up and to advance to Natas level 1, and we're going to do so with this password right here. So this is known as the flag in capture the flag exercises. So when we're talking about when we talk about a flag, we're just, in this context, we're talking about the password that gets us to the next level. Okay, so let's get to the next level then. All right, so to advance to the next level, we just need to go over to our web page over here, and we need to adjust the URL over here from Natas 0 to Natas 1. So we do that, and then we confirm, and I'll copy the URL in the chat for everybody. So remember, we use the password we just captured from the web page to log into the next level as the Natas1 user. So when it asks for the username, we're going to enter Natas1, and we're going to paste in the password that we got from the last level to get in. Okay, so log in, click on sign in, and we're finished. We're now on Natas level 1. Okay, so everybody, if you are on Natas level 1, please type in level 1, I'm here. Just so I know how many people are following along, thank you very much. Okay, so now that we're on Natas level 1, we see here on the web page, you can find the password for the next level on this page, but right-clicking has been blocked. Notes minutia is here. Glad to see, glad to see. All right, so the method that we used in the previous level, that is right-clicking, has been blocked. So it says when we try to right-click on the page, there's an error message. Well, there's this dialog box over here that says that we can't do that. So we can't access the source code by right-clicking. But there are a couple of different ways that we could use to access the source code anyways. Does anybody have any ideas what we might do to access the source code? So I'm going to introduce a concept that has become popular in the last couple of years, and that's using a chatbot to help out with CTF exercises. So previously, you would have to do a lot of if you didn't know how to use a particular program to do something, you would have to do a lot of digging around and searching. But Notes Minutia has the answer. That is the correct answer. But we could also ask ChatGPT. So using the Google Chrome web browser, what are some different ways we can access a page's HTTP source code? So it provides us a number of different ways we can access the source code. But most importantly, there's it says we can do the right-click method. It says we can right-click this. Well, okay, this doesn't work in this case. We can use the view source shortcut, which is Control+U, and that's going to open up a new tab with the HTML source code of the page. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so you just have to, on the web page, you just need to use the Control+U on your keyboard for the shortcut, and we see this right here. Okay, so it's very similar to the last page, and it even has a little comment right here with the password. So the password for Natas 2 is this right here. So let me copy this to everybody in the chat, just in case you wanted to use this password. And this is the password for Natas level 2. So what did we learn there? Let's take a look. So in this part, we're practicing some lateral problem solving. So when hackers encounter a locked door, they look for an open window. So we can look at web app security in terms of checking which doors and windows are locked and which can be opened. This is where the security tester's most powerful weapon, research, comes into play. Two common research tools used these days are ChatGPT and the Google search engine. So once the obstacle to a problem is discovered, we can research a way to overcome the obstacle or a method of bypassing it. Okay, so that was Natas level 1. Let's navigate to Natas level 2. Okay. All right, so anybody who wants a shortcut for that, for the next level over here, it is in chat. So once again, we have to log in. Remember that the Natas, so the username is going to be Natas plus the level that we're on, in this case, Natas 2. And the password is the password we got from the last level. Let me copy that out of the chat. Very convenient. And then click on sign in. Okay, so we see here that the message is, there is nothing on this page. All right, so if anybody knows exactly how we would solve this level, go ahead and type it in the chat to let us know. Otherwise, I'll be going over how to finish this level in just a little bit. But if you're here, go ahead and do a little bit of testing. I'll say that the answer is in the source. So if you want to go to view page source over here, the answer is somewhere in this source. So if you have any ideas as to where we should be looking, go ahead and type in the chat and let us know. So I'll just play a little motivational video for everybody. I've created all these little redeemable video clips, and this one is from the famous 1998 movie Hackers.
Hack the planet! Hack the planet! Shut up and get it.
Okay, so Notes by Nisha says that that there's something in the files directory. So Notes by Nisha is referring to this right here. So there's nothing on the page, but this one here is an HTTP image tag. So an image tag is something that you use to display images on a web page, and it's referring to this file right here, which is called pixel.png. So you might notice that there is a single pixel on this web page, and I'm going to zoom in on it. I think this is it. This is the pixel that we're talking about. Okay, so if we click on this file right here, it's going to bring us to the pixel, which is this pixel right here. It's I can't make it any bigger than that. But okay, so now that we're here, what do we need to do to access the password? Nisha, do you know? So the clue is in this section right here. So we've got the domain, which is overthewire.org. But then there's another directory right here. This directory is called files. And we know that inside of the files directory, there's this pixel.png file. Well, the thing is that we know that there's a directory called files over here, and this is where the pixel.png image is found. But we can directly access the files directory over here by manually navigating to it. And that's really big. Let me make this smaller. Okay, so here it says index of /files. So this is what is known as directory listing or directory indexing, and this is when a directory inside of a web app is completely open, and all the contents of the directory are available for anybody to take a look at. And so this is a web app. This is a web app vulnerability. It's an insecure setting, rather. And inside of this directory, as well as the pixel.png file, there's this file right here, which is called users.txt. So if we click on that, then we have a number of different passwords right here. So it's username, password. And we have a number of different usernames and passwords, but along with these usernames and passwords, there's this entry right here, which is Natas3, which is the password for the next level. Okay, so I'll copy this password and I'll provide it to everybody in chat. And let's take a look at what the vulnerability was on this particular level. So here we were talking about directory indexing. So directory indexing is also known as directory listing. Basically, these two terms are basically talking about the same thing. It's an insecure setting on websites that allows users to see the file contents of web directories. Although it is quite rare to encounter this on modern websites, it's still common. It's still very common to find it on older websites. So the thing about web app hacking is that a lot of the time you're not going to be encountering new websites or websites that have been created very recently. You'll also encounter a lot of legacy websites. That is, maybe they're websites that were created a really long time ago. And websites that were created a really long time ago might still have a lot of very old web app vulnerabilities on them. All right, so if directory indexing is enabled and a malicious user is able to discover different directory paths on the website, either through guessing, HTML source analysis, or directory busting, then sensitive files may be discovered, stolen, or otherwise abused. So directory indexing, you're going to encounter it a lot on web app hacking CTF exercises, especially at the beginner level. So this is something you should know about. All right, so let's use this information, the password we just got, which is this right here, and let's log into Natas level 3. So I'm going to close this stuff out. Don't want to have too many tabs open. And I'm going to navigate to Natas level 3. Okay, so to log into Natas level 3, we just have to provide the username Natas3, and we need to provide the password, and then click on sign in. So to everybody who needs the URL, it is in chat right now. Okay, and everybody, if you're on Natas level 3 as well, please type in Natas3 and some smileys. Natas3 smiley. Okay, and let's take a look at what is on the page. So this is Natas level 3, and it says there is nothing on this page. Well, the previous level also said there is nothing on this page, but there was something on the page. So this time, we can find the vulnerability again by looking at viewing the page source. So let's view the page source. And then remember, there's a comment over here that says the stuff in the header has nothing to do with the level. So anything in between this script tag right here, head, and this one, right here, this is code that we can safely ignore. All right, so here we've got another comment, and it says no more information leaks. Not even Google will find it this time. Okay, so if anybody knows what this is referring to, please type it in chat. Otherwise, we're going to be going over what this is actually referring to in just a few moments. Okay, so it says no more information leaks, not even Google will find it this time. So this isn't very explicit, but what it's talking about is talking about the Google search engine. So the way Google knows about your website and what's on your website is that it uses what is called a robot to scan and to crawl through your website and index or to record what is on your website. So let's take a look at the presentation. So before that, let's talk about HTTP requests. So HTTP is the backbone of the internet, and all web browsers receive web page content by sending HTTP requests to web servers. In return, the web server sends the web browser an HTTP response, which is rendered by the browser and presented to the user. So it's when we're learning about web app security, we have to understand some basic contents about how information is sent and received by the internet and how it arrives at your web browser. So each HTTP request is made with a specific HTTP method, which tells the web server what kind of interaction you want from it. Okay, so we've got an example of an HTTP request right here, and in this case, it's a GET request. So the type of request we're talking about, one is the GET method, or the GET, or sometimes people call them HTTP verbs. And what this is going to do is retrieve information from a web page. So we've got our endpoint over here, which is Natas, and we've got our HTTP version right here, which is HTTP 1.1. The host, which we're contacting, overthewire.org, and we've got our user agent, which is the type of software we're using to access the website, and the type of response, the type of information we're expecting in the response. So each HTTP request is made with a specific HTTP method, which tells the web server what kind of interaction you want from it. And then the most common HTTP method is the GET method, which retrieves the contents of web pages. The web server will always return an HTTP status code with its response in the form of a 3-digit number. Any code in the 200 range is considered a successful response. So this is an example of what the server sends back to your web browser if it successfully gets the information from the web server. So HTTP 200 OK, which means you successfully got the information from the web page. You've got a date, you've got a content type, which is text HTML, in this particular character set, UTF-8, and transfer encoding chunked. That's the method by which we get the information, transfer encoding. All right, so we're talking about robots.txt. This is what we're talking about as far as the vulnerability is concerned on Natas level 3. So search engines such as Google, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, etc. Use programs called robots to visit websites and map out their web pages. However, this may cause sensitive areas of websites to appear in search results. All right, so just for fun, everybody, please tell me which web browser you use on your computer, just so I understand a little bit better about what popular web browsers are being used these days. I'm a pretty boring person, so mostly I just use Google Chrome. Occasionally, if I'm using Kali Linux, I'll be using Firefox because that's the default web browser on Kali Linux. All right, so the robots.txt is something in order to prevent sensitive areas of the website from being recorded. Website administrators can add a file called robots.txt to their website. And this is going to specify which directories and or pages of the website are off limits to the search engine robot programs. So you've got these robots, they're crawling your website and they're mapping out what contents are in your website. But if you have a robots.txt file on your website, you're able to specify which areas are allowed to be indexed by the search engine robots and which ones are not allowed to be indexed by the search engine robots. So if we were to take a look at google.com, so we've got google.com, and then we go to robots.txt, and I'll include this link in case you want to take a look at yourself. So we've got a big list of different directories on the Google website which are allowed and not allowed to be indexed by search engine robots. So disallow these directories right here, allow these directories right here. This one is quite long. And if you've got a really large website like Google does, the robots.txt file might be very, very complicated. Okay, so that's Google's website, and that's and we're talking about robots.txt on that website. If there's anything that you don't understand about the explanation that I've given about robots.txt and search engine robots and what they're allowed and not allowed to look at, please type in the chat and I'll try to address your questions as they come in. So here, unfortunately, if malicious users know how to find the robots.txt file, the contents of the file could potentially lead them to sensitive areas of the website. So if you know, so for example, in here, you've got all of these disallowed directories over here. There could potentially be sensitive information in these directories right here. Not that I'm saying that you should go and visit these parts of the Google website. You shouldn't be doing any testing on public websites without permission, of course. So if you know what's in the robots.txt file, you could potentially get sensitive information from those disallowed directories. So let's take a look at this website over here. So it's Natas 3. We could look for the robots.txt file on this website. And I'll provide this link just in case you want to use this link from the chat. All right, so what information could we use? What information could we use from this robots.txt file to get potentially sensitive information? So this directory right here is a directory on the website. Otherwise, well, I mean, if it wasn't a directory on this website, then it wouldn't be included on in an entry in the robots.txt file. So what we can do is we can manually navigate to this directory right here by copying this and then tacking this to the end of the website name in the web browser, and then pressing enter to manually navigate to that directory. Okay, so inside that directory, and this directory is also directory listable or directory indexable, which is the vulnerability we found in the previous level. And once again, there's a users.txt file in here, and we can access this. And we see that the password for Natas 4 is in here. Okay, so I'll provide the password for this in the chat. Okay. And what we can do is we can use this information to log into Natas level 4. So you would navigate to Natas level 4, and it would ask for your username and password. Natas 4 as the username and the password as the password that you just got from Natas level 3. And sign in. And if you manage to sign into Natas level 4, please type 4444 in the chat and include some smiley faces if you please. Right, so everybody, if there are any questions about any of the concepts that we covered in today's workshop, please type them in chat and I'll try to address them as best I can. This is a slightly shorter workshop, but we might go over a few example challenges from the PicoCTF game, just as a little bit of extra practice. So everybody, let's go over the summary of what we learned today. So let's review the web exploitation concepts we learned in today's workshop. So we talked about some lateral problem solving. So the most important skill to develop in cybersecurity is researching. Google and ChatGPT are two powerful research tools. Please use them wisely. We also talked about directory indexing, which is also known as directory listing. It's a vulnerability on websites that allows users to see the contents of web directories, which can lead to sensitive data exposed to arbitrary website visitors. Notes by Nisha says, I'm having issues with connecting to the site after entering username and password. Which level of Natas are you trying to access? Is that Natas level 1 or level 3? So I think, are you trying to access Natas level 4? So the most recent password is for Natas level 4. So I was only able to submit level 1. Okay, so what I want you to do is let me take a look. Let me try to help you out. We've got a lot of time today. So let's say that this is Natas level 2, and I will paste the link for that in the chat. So this is Natas level 2. You were only able to submit level 1. So level 2, the link is right here, and the password for Natas level 2. Let me go back to Natas level 1 and get the password. So this should be the password that you use with Natas level 2. remember that the username has to be username equals Natas2, password is this. So to get into Natas level 2, you use this password right here, which I provided in chat. Just do a little double check to see if the number is correct. So you want to make sure at the top of the address bar, you've got Natas2 and not Natas1 in there. And then you want to make sure that you're using Natas2 as the username. If you're able to resolve the problem, please let us know in chat. Okay, so we talked about some directory indexing, which is a vulnerability on websites that allows users to see the contents of web directories, which can lead to sensitive data exposed to arbitrary website visitors. And the last thing we talked about today is we talked about robots.txt. Robots.txt is a special file included on certain websites that indicates which files on the site can and cannot be indexed by search engines. It can be abused to point malicious users to sensitive parts of the website. Notes by Nisha says, "I will keep trying." So okay, let's go through this step by step one more time. I'm going to go incognito over here. I'm going to go to Natas level 1. It's going to ask me for the password, username, and password. So it's Natas1, and password is, I think this is the password right here. Sign in. Okay, so this is Natas1, and to get the password here, we do the keyboard shortcut, and we get the password for Natas level 2, and we copy the password, and then in the URL bar over here, we have to change the number over here from Natas level 1 to Natas level 2. We have to change the number here from Natas1 to Natas2 in the address bar, and then navigate to this page, and the username here has to be Natas2, not Natas1. Because this is Natas2, we have to match the username with this right here. And the password is this one right here, which begins with the letter T. So, and then click on sign in. And then we're on Natas level 2. So the key here is we need to make sure that the URL is correct. It says Natas2, and when we log in, we have to use the username Natas2, and we need to use the password that starts with the TGUM, and then that should get us access to Natas level 2. So if you're still having problems, Nisha, we might be able to help you out a little bit more. But what I'm going to do before we finish out this portion of the stream is we're going to solve maybe 1 or 2 questions over at the PicoCTF. So if you don't have an account over at picoctf.org, so picoctf.org over here. So please create an account, and if you're looking to learn about cybersecurity in general, I recommend creating an account over at this website right here, picoctf.org. What you can do is you can log in, and I'm going to log in. So I guess I've already logged in. So after you log in to the picoctf.org website, you're going to have a lot of different challenges that you can finish, that you can attempt in order to learn more about cybersecurity. So they've got a lot of different challenges over here, and you can search through these challenges by category. So for example, if I wanted to take a look at easy difficulty challenges in the web exploitation category over here, I could select those, and maybe we want to complete this challenge right here. Let me take a look at what an easy challenge might be for this that corresponds with what we learned today. For example, we've got a challenge called "Where are the robots?" Let me check this one. Where are the robots? And if anybody wants to take a look at this challenge that we're looking at right now, you can navigate to the link that I've supplied in the chat. So this challenge right here is an easy web exploitation challenge from the event PicoCTF 2019. And the description says, "Can you find the robots?" And then they have a URL over here. And the goal of the exercise is to navigate to the web page and to find the flag. So the flag probably has something to do with the robots we were just talking about. So let's copy the URL, and I'll provide the link in the chat. And then we can go to another tab in our web browser, and we can paste in the URL. And the page simply says, "Welcome, where are the robots?" So does anybody know where we would find the robots? So if you know where to find the robots.txt file, please type it in the chat. So include the full URL and include robots.txt on the end of that. /robots.txt, that's correct. Okay, so yeah, so let's see. So you don't need to be logged into PicoCTF to access this page. So that's great. So you would go to /robots.txt, I can't spell, txt, and then go there. And then it says here, disallow this directory right here. Well, it's not a directory, it's a web page because it ends in HTML. Okay, so what you would do is you would paste this to the end of the URL right here, that replacing robots.txt. Copy that, and then go here, highlight robots.txt, including the slash, and then paste it in, and navigate to this page. So it says, "Guess you found the robots," and then PicoCTF and this flag right here. So the thing about, I think this is the flag that everybody gets. There are some challenges inside the PicoCTF where the flag is individualized for each user. This is probably not one of those challenges. So what you can do is you can copy the flag right here, copy that, and then go back to the PicoCTF page. And inside of the challenge description here, you can paste the value of the flag into the flag submission field, which is this right here. And then you would click on the Submit Flag button. Okay, it says, "Hooray, you solved this challenge." Okay. All right, so we'll do one more challenge before we wrap up for the day. Well, we're not wrapping up for the day. We're wrapping up this portion of the stream for today. Let's take a look and see if there are some. Okay, so maybe we could take a look at the next challenge, which is called Inspect. So this challenge is called Inspect HTML. And I will paste in the URL for this challenge. so you can navigate to it yourself. It says, can you get the flag? Additional details will be available after launching your challenge instance. Okay, it says, so this says it's an easy challenge. It's a web exploitation challenge. It's from PicoCTF 2022. And it also has this tag right here, inspector. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to click on this button right here, labeled launch instance. And that's going to start up the web page that is associated with this challenge. So after this is started, it'll say status is running, and there's a limited amount of time to access this web page right here. It should be about 15 minutes. So now in the description it says go to this web page and see what you can discover. So here I'll copy this link. I'm pretty sure, okay, so this link, you should probably navigate to your own link, because it could be that the flag is individualized for each user. What you need to do is you need to copy the link from the website, and then you need to navigate to that website. Okay, so what is on the website? There's all this stuff right here. So it says this is something about some ancient kingdoms, talking about 499 BC. So how would we start testing this website? Does anybody have a suggestion as to how you would start testing on this website? I'm just going to take a little drink. So maybe we could start viewing the page source. So this is very similar to Notes Minutia says view page source. You are correct. So this is very similar to the PicoCTF. Sorry, this is very similar to the Overthewire Natas CTF. Level 1 and level 2, where the flag is just in a comment over here. So what you can do is you can copy this, and then you can navigate over to the PicoCTF page, inspect HTML. At the bottom of the challenge description window, you can paste your flag into the flag submission field over here and click on submit flag. Hooray, you solved this challenge. Hooray! Okay, that didn't take very long at all. All right, so everybody, next week, we're going to be continuing on with our web exploitation journey. If anybody wants to know what we're doing for the streams each week, you can find a weekly schedule over on the HackerFrogs Reddit page. And for example, we've posted this one for week 28, which is the current week. I will provide the link in chat. So what are we doing today? Today is Monday, July 8th, and our primary topic is this: Web App Hacking Basics number 1, directory listing in robots.txt. And after we finish this topic over here, we're going to move on to our secondary topic, which is Hack the Culture, a little segment we do over here. We're going to be introducing cybersecurity conferences such as DEF CON. So we're going to be talking about that in just a few minutes. But what are we doing on Wednesday? So on Wednesday, which is 2 days from now, on July 10th, we're going to be doing HackerFrogs Extra Credit, Web App Hacking Basics 1. We're going to be doing even more challenges with PicoCTF. And then as our secondary topic, we're going to be talking about historical hacks. When we're going to be talking about the SolarWinds hack that happened back in 2020. And we're going to be talking about the Morris worm, which happened a long time ago and took down most of the computers on the internet when it happened, which was a really long time ago. And on Friday, we're going to be doing our free hacking session. We're going to be doing Hack the Box starting point tier 2 walkthroughs. We're going to be doing the unified box on Hack the Box, which is the last of the starting point tier 2 boxes. It's a doozy of a box. I've already taken my notes about it, and that one's going to take a while. And then as our secondary topic, we're going to do hacking development. We're going to be brainstorming an educational cybersecurity game with LLM help. So we're going to be using stuff like ChatGPT, and we're going to get it to help us out in developing a cybersecurity video game. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope we see you there. But let's move on to our second topic. We're doing Hack the Culture, Intro to Cybersecurity Conferences. For example, DEF CON. So we're going to be talking about probably the big 3 cybersecurity conferences in this segment. But to prepare for the segment, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to turn on the music and turn down the music because that's a bit loud. This segment is a little less formal than the other one. Let's change out the titles. So this is DEF CON and Black Hat and B-Sides. I hope that can all fit. Okay, and let me change out the this over here. This is Hack the Culture. Okay, so for this segment, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about some major cybersecurity conferences, and we're going to be answering some questions with help from our good friends ChatGPT and Perplexity AI, and some good old Googling. Okay, so let me close out this stuff over here. So something I learned recently is over at the Gemini, the Gemini AI app over from Google, you can create images for free. So previously you could use DALL-E to create images, but unless you had a paid subscription, you could only create a limited number of images per month. But it turns out over at Gemini, which is Google's AI app, you can create all the images you want, and you can and you don't have to pay anything. So that's great. So I use Gemini over here to create some HackerFrogs images. So the prompt over here is create a photo of HackerFrogs wearing sunglasses and hoodies sitting at a table working on laptop computers rendered in the style of comic book illustration. So it created for me these fun little drawings. I like this one right here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Can I make it bigger? Not really. Okay, but yeah, they're cool HackerFrogs wearing hoodies and sunglasses and working on laptop computers. Although this Apple logo looks a little bit off. But yeah, this is so this is probably getting my go-to AI for making images, since I don't have to pay and I can make unlimited numbers of them. All right, so let's go over to the HackerFrogs GitHub. GitHub. And we're doing Hack the Culture. And we're talking about InfoSec conferences. So I've got this number of questions that we're going to answer. So for each one of these conferences, DEF CON, B-Sides, and Black Hat, we're going to answer the following questions. What is it called? Well, that's obvious. When did it start, and what is its history? And it's misspelled, unfortunately. Where and when is it held? Who founded the conference? Do they still organize it? If not, who organizes the conference now? What topics does it cover? What controversies or big news has the convention been involved in? And what are the convention's official website and social media links? So if anybody knows about, if anybody's been to a big hacker conference, please type in chat and let us know. Because I would really appreciate some audience participation whenever possible. Okay, so let's start with DEF CON over here. We're going to be feeding all of these questions into the AI, and we're going to figure out if the different AIs give us different answers. So it's going to be interesting if they do. Okay, so let's ask over here, ChatGPT, answer the following questions about the DEF CON conference. And then we can paste in all of our questions. Let me gather my notes. Okay, I'm gonna paste in the questions. And then I'm going to get it to answer all the questions at once. So in some previous episodes, I started, I was just asking the questions one by one, but this time I'm gonna have the AI answer all the questions at once. So that's gonna save us some time. Okay, this is a lengthy one. So let's, is there some way for me to get rid of the sidebar right here? Close sidebar, okay, great. Okay, let's make this nice and big. Okay, so DEF CON. When did it start? What's its history? So DEF CON started in 1993. It was intended as a farewell party to a friend of the founder, Jeff Moss, also known as the Dark Tangent, who had to cancel his visit. Moss decided to keep the plans and invite the hacker community, which led to the first DEF CON being held in Las Vegas. The conference has grown significantly over the years, becoming one of the world's largest and most well-known hacker conventions. Okay, so I'm going to write down the pertinent details. So it started in 1993, and it was founded by Jeff Moss, who is also known as the Dark Tangent. Okay, and it says, where is it held? This is the next question. DEF CON is held annually in Las Vegas, Nevada, usually in late July or early August. The exact days and venue can vary from year to year, but typically it takes place over the weekend, spanning 4 days from Thursday to Sunday. All right, I'm gonna copy these questions because I'm going to be asking the other AIs these same questions, so just bear with me a little bit. I just need to do a little copy and pasting. Okay, so the next question we need to answer is, who founded the conference? Do they still organize it? If not, who organizes the conference now? So Jeff Moss founded DEF CON. He continues to be involved in organizing the conference. Over the years, a team of dedicated volunteers and staff has contributed to running the event, but Moss remains a central figure in its organization. Okay, and it's held in Las Vegas, Nevada. I should write this down. Okay, so it happens in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it usually happens in late July or early August. Okay. So the next question is, what topics does it cover? So DEF CON covers a wide variety of topics related to hacking and cybersecurity. Some of the key areas include these right here. So network system security, cryptography, penetration testing, social engineering, hardware hacking, cyber law and policy, privacy and surveillance, vulnerability research, and emerging technologies. So it sounds like whatever it is you want to do, you can do it over at DEF CON. I hear that so the areas where these topics are covered are called villages. So there's a hardware hacking village, a social engineering village, an AI village, etc. And it's basically whatever you want to, whatever you're interested in, you can go and get it over at DEF CON. So in addition to the formal presentations, the conference also features hands-on workshops, capture the flag competitions, hacking villages, and other activities. So I'm going to copy this stuff over here so I can paste it into my document. Okay, so the next question is about controversies. So what big controversies or big news stories has the convention been involved in? So it's been involved in several controversies, big news stories over the years. So DEF CON has attracted attention from government agencies, including both the FBI and NSA, both as participants and subjects of discussions and presentations. The presence of government agents has sometimes caused tension within the hacker community. Hacker demonstrations. High-profile hacking demonstrations at DEF CON have occasionally drawn media scrutiny and legal attention. For example, hacking voting machines, car hacking, and medical device vulnerabilities have made headlines. Banned presentations. Some talks have been controversially canceled or altered due to legal pressures or concerns over release of sensitive information. And community incidents. Like many conventions, DEF CON has faced issues related to community behavior, including harassment and safety concerns, leading to increased focus on creating a safer and more inclusive environment. And we've got... So it doesn't say any one particular news story over here, but we can keep this in mind. I can copy this and include this in the document. And then next we can talk about the convention's official website and social media links. So I'm just going to copy these and I'm going to assume that these are correct, but we can do a little bit of checking. Just okay, so this looks like it's legit, and let's take a look at its Twitter. So this, okay, so it looks like, so by the way, anybody who's interested in taking a look at any of the talks from previous DEF CON events, you can probably find it over on this page, and I'll leave the link in chat. So there have been a bunch of talks from last year over here, DEF CON 31. DEF CON 32 is coming up in probably next month. Let's check when it's happening. So DEF CON 30, I guess you call it 32. Over on the official website. And that's going to be happening August 11th and 12th. Sorry, it's going to be August 12th and 13th, according to this schedule right here. Okay. All right, so lastly, let's do a little bit of double checking by using another LLM. So let's ask Perplexity. Answer the following questions about the DEF CON cybersecurity conference. And then I will paste in my questions. Okay, so let's see if this differs any from the answer that was given by ChatGPT. So 1993, that is the same. Jeff Moss, Dark Tangent. Las Vegas attracted about 100 attendees, primarily from the early hacker community. Okay, it's grown into a major annual event that now attracts 30,000 participants. So there's some additional details over what was provided by ChatGPT, and it says it's held in Las Vegas, Nevada. The upcoming DEF CON 32 in 2024 is scheduled for... Okay, so I think these dates might be incorrect over here, because the DEF CON website says that it's happening on this date, which is different. But over here it says August 8th. So maybe I'm getting this mixed up. Okay, so let's move on. So DEF CON covers a wide range of topics. Oh, who founded the conference, and do they still organize it? So Jeff Moss founded DEF CON in 1993. He continues to run the conference to this day. While Moss sold the Black Hat conference, which he also founded in 2005, he retained ownership and control of DEF CON. So Black Hat is probably the next conference we're going to be asking about. But all right, so what topics does DEF CON cover? So presentations and workshops, competitions like Capture the Flag and social engineering, specialized villages, which focus on specific areas such as wireless security, lockpicking, and voting machine security, discussions on privacy technology and related legal issues. So an interesting thing that happens over at cybersecurity conferences is something that's called LobbyCon. And LobbyCon is basically hanging out and talking with friends or other interesting people in the lobbies while you're waiting for events to happen inside of the conference rooms. So LobbyCon is basically a great a social networking event where you get to talk with cool people in the lobby while you're waiting for your talks to start in the conference rooms. Okay, so what controversies or big news stories has the convention been involved in? DEF CON has been involved in several notable incidents and controversies. Okay, so this is what I was looking for. In 1999, the Cult of the Dead Cow Hacker Collective released their back orifice Windows hacking tool at DEF CON, causing a significant stir in tech and media worlds. Okay? In 2007, Moss exposed a journalist attempting to go undercover at the conference, resulting in her being chased out by attendees. That's some juicy drama. And the conference has occasionally seen legal actions and arrests, highlighting the complex relationship between the hacking community and law enforcement. Okay, so what are the convention's official website and social media links? So here, Perplexity AI is not able to give us some answers. Don't have specific information about the DEF CON's official website. Okay. All right, so that was DEF CON. If you have any other questions about DEF CON, please type them in chat and we'll see if we can answer them. Otherwise, we're going to move on to the next convention that we're going to be talking about today, which is Black Hat. So, answer the following questions about the Black Hat Cybersecurity Conference. And all of our usual questions. If you have any other questions that you think we should be asking, please let us know in chat, and we'll see if we can add it to our standard questions that we're asking about these about the conferences. Okay, so this seems so far Black Hat seems to be very similar to DEF CON. Okay, so when did it start? What is its history? Black Hat started in 1997. It was founded by Jeff Moss, the same individual who founded DEF CON. So the conference was created to provide a more formal and business-focused counterpart to the more informal DEF CON. Over the years, Black Hat has expanded globally with events held in various regions, including the USA, Europe, and Asia. It has become one of the most respected and widely attended cybersecurity conferences in the world. So where and when is it held? Black Hat USA is held annually in Las Vegas, Nevada, usually in late July or early August, often overlapping with DEF CON. Black Hat events are also held in other locations around the world, including Black Hat Europe and Black Hat Asia, with dates and venues varying each year. So it looks like this person, Jeff Moss, is a really big player in the hacker scene because he founded two of the biggest conventions associated with cybersecurity/hacking. So Jeff Moss founded Black Hat. While he remains an influential figure in the cybersecurity community, the conference is now organized by Informa Tech, a business unit within Informa PLC. Moss continues to be involved in the broader cybersecurity community and contributes to the direction and vision of both Black Hat and DEF CON. So what topics does it cover? So I would say that Black Hat probably covers the same topics that are covered over at DEF CON. So it certainly looks that way. So it covers vulnerability research, networking system security, application security, cryptography, etc., etc. The conference includes technical briefings, hands-on training sessions, and keynotes from leading experts in the field. What controversies or big news stories has the convention been involved in? So I guess we're talking about zero-day exploits. Researchers have unveiled critical zero-day vulnerabilities at Black Hat, leading to significant media coverage and sometimes urging patching efforts by affected companies. So I guess these are the same kind of big things that DEF CON deals with. What are the convention's official website and social media links? Well, it's these ones over here, and I'm going to copy these. Okay, so to get a differing opinion, well, might be differing opinion, let's go over to Perplexity AI and ask, what are the answer the questions? Cybersecurity conference. So let's go over whether or not there's anything that is very different in this answer from the one that's provided by ChatGPT. So it was founded in 1997, Jeff Moss, okay. Began as a single meetup in Las Vegas. Over the past 27 years, Black Hat has expanded not only in the United States, but also in Europe and Asia. So it's held in Las Vegas, Nevada, Mandalay Bay Convention Center, okay. Who founded the conference? It is Jeff Moss, also known as the Dark Tangent, in 1997. Black Hat is now part of the Informa Tech division of Informa PLC. So Informa PLC could be something that we could investigate. Let's ask ChatGPT what this is. What is the Informa PLC? It says it's a national publishing, business intelligence, and events company headquartered in London in the United Kingdom. Operates in various sectors, providing knowledge, information, and services to help businesses and professionals across different industries. So this is it's a publishing and events company. Okay. All right. So, okay, let's get back to this question about Black Hat. So, Black Hat covers a wide range of cybersecurity topics, including enterprise security and all this stuff: systems exploitation, cloud security, AppSec and cryptography, IoT security, malware analysis. So now it includes more defensive security work and management topics, alongside its traditional focus on exploitation and offensive security. And so we get the great thing about the answers from Perplexity is that we get specific news stories about what controversies this convention has been involved in. So, for example, it says in 2003. This person released a proof of SQL concept attack against a SQL server, which led to the infamous SQL slammer worm. SQL slammer worm. That sounds interesting. Hey ChatGPT, what is the SQL slammer worm? Never thought I'd be saying that. Okay, the SQL slammer worm, also known as Sapphire, is a computer worm that caused major internet disruption in January 2003 and exploited a vulnerability in Microsoft SQL Server and Desktop Engine software. So this is January 2003. Took advantage of a buffer flow vulnerability in SQL Server, and the vulnerability was disclosed and patched 6 months prior to the outbreak, but many systems remained unpatched. So this is a common thing in the vulnerability and exploitation space, where you'll have the vulnerability patched up, but there are a lot of systems that are not patched because either their administrators haven't gotten around to patching, or have decided that that patching is not worth their time. So these systems and these already fixed vulnerabilities are still able to be exploited. So propagation. So SQL Slammer was a very small piece of code which allowed it to spread extremely quickly. It generated random IP addresses to identify potential targets, sending itself to those addresses in an attempt to infect new hosts. Once the machine was infected, it continued to spread the worm. Okay, so that was revealed at one of these Black Hat talks. So in 2005, researcher Michael Lin quit his job to present information about flaws in Cisco router operating systems, despite pressure from Cisco to suppress the talk. So this person decided to give his talk over at Black Hat about security flaws in the operating systems. That's a pretty bold move. Okay, and in 2015, researchers Charlie Miller and Chris Valasek unveiled their remote Jeep hacks ahead of the conference. So this is some car hacking stuff, and Perplexity AI continues to not give us social media links, although it could probably find them. I'm not sure why it refuses to give it links in its answers. All right, so let's move on to our third target, which is the B-Sides convention. So I'm pretty sure the B-Sides convention was not organized by Jeff Moss. Otherwise, that would be quite amazing. So let's ask ChatGPT first. Actually, let's ask Perplexity first. So here, answer the following questions about the B-Sides cybersecurity conference. Austin Ike says, Hi Austin Ike, how are you doing? And welcome to the stream. Are you a cybersecurity student or a cybersecurity professional? I'd love to know. And I'm going to grab my questions for the AI right here, which are these ones right here. Paste in my questions and ask the question. Okay, so we're talking about B-Sides, short for security B-Sides. It started in 2009. Oh, that was quite a while after DEF CON and Black Hat started. Austin Ike says, I'm a washed CTF player. Why would you define yourself as a washed CTF player? And what are your usual CTF platforms? Do you play on Hack the Box, Try Hack Me, Pico CTF, or some other platform? And what would you say is your specialty? Is it network hacking, web app hacking, cryptography, or something else? Okay, so Security B-Side started in 2009 as a response to limited speaking slots at the major cybersecurity conferences. It began when a group of cybersecurity professionals decided to create an alternate event for those who couldn't present at more established conferences. So the first B-Sides event was held on July 29th and 30th of 2009, and since then it has grown into a global movement with events taking place in cities worldwide. So B-Sides events are held in various locations around the world throughout the year. There are no fixed locations or date of the B-Sides conferences. Different cities and organizations organize their own B-Sides events at different times. For example, B-Sides Connecticut is planning its event for fall 2024, while other locations may have different schedules. Okay, so an interesting thing about B-Sides, I thought that and one thing I'd like to know about B-Sides is, where was the original B-Sides held? So I'll probably answer that. I'll probably ask that question directly after I get the information about this. Or we can ask ChatGPT about the B-Sides conference. Where was the first one held? Okay, it was held in Las Vegas, Nevada in 2009. So this is the information that was missing from the other answer from Perplexity. Yeah, okay. So it says it's held in Austin Ike says Try Hack Me General. I guess. Thanks for your channel. Well, thank you very much for chatting over here. I appreciate any viewers and anybody who wants to chat. But what's your history with Try Hack Me? Are you solving a lot of the beginner level challenges, or do you attempt medium level or hard level ones as well? And also, do you come from a development background or a cybersecurity background? Do you study computer science or web development or anything like that? Software development, maybe? Okay, so who founded the conference and do they still organize it? So the original B-Sides concept was created by a group of cybersecurity professionals in 2009, specifically Mike Murray, Mike Don and Jennifer Leggio are credited with designing the initial community-based security event. Jack Daniel and Mike Don are mentioned as founders of B-Sides Las Vegas in 2009. B-Sides events are typically organized by local communities rather than a central organization. Each B-Sides event, including regional ones like B-Sides Connecticut, is driven by volunteers from the local cybersecurity community. So one interesting thing about the B-Sides conference is that there's a local B-Sides conference in basically every major city, I would say, and including my hometown, which is Vancouver, Canada. I've been to a couple of B-Sides Vancouver conferences myself, and they're always a pretty good time. So what topics does it cover? So B-Sides covers a wide range of cybersecurity topics, including cutting-edge research, hands-on workshops, interactive sessions, penetration testing techniques, lockpicking, and all this good stuff. So I guess all the conventions that we looked at so far cover very similar topics, and I guess you would have to get very specific to find a cybersecurity conference that covers one specific topic. I guess something like RSA. I guess RSA talks a lot more about cryptography and stuff like that. And I guess I could talk about that next. So what controversies or big news stories has the convention been involved in? Okay, there are no specific controversies involving B-Sides conferences. They're generally known to be community-driven and inclusive approach to cybersecurity discussions rather than controversial incidents. Well, thank you for that. What are the convention's official? So Perplexity is never going to give us specific links, unfortunately, but ChatGPT probably will. Austin says, just a beginner, I finished high school a while ago, haven't entered college yet. I played a few CTF competitions. Not sure you'll know it. It's a West African CTF competition. Oh, are you located in West Africa? I'm always very curious as to what the cybersecurity scene is in different countries. Are there a lot of people going into cybersecurity in your country? So just finished high school a while, haven't entered college yet. Well, if you wanted to do cybersecurity, you don't necessarily have to go to university and get a degree. There are a bunch of different free resources you can do to get a bunch of experience with cybersecurity. And you say that you've been using TryHackMe. Have you done a lot of Hack the Box? So hackthebox.com. So hackthebox.com has a bunch of free stuff as well. And another website that I recently discovered was HackMyVM. HackMyVM.eu over here. So this website is interesting because, well, first of all, you can log in anonymously, and second, this website has more of an emphasis on downloading VMs, so you can download the VMs over here. Austin says, "My friend has a sub there. I'll go check it out there." Well, that's great. That's great. So hackmyvm.eu has a bunch of boxes you can download over here, and it's not the same as the infrastructure for TryHackMe and Hack the Box, where you start up a cloud instance of whatever box you want to attack. Here you're going to download the VM and you're going to run the VM on your own VM network, as well as your attacker machine. So it might be something like Kali Linux or Parrot OS, and you put the two machines on the same network and you hack it from there. So it's more of an old school approach to learning about cybersecurity. But yeah, so let's see. Let's ask the same questions to ChatGPT about B-Sides. Answer the following questions. And then we grab the questions and then we'll feed it to the AI. Okay, so B-Side started in 2009. Originated as a reaction to the overflow of quality content rejected by major security conferences like Black Hat due to limited space and time constraints. Jack Daniel and Mike Don are credited with founding the first B-Sides event in Las Vegas. B-Sides events are held throughout the year in various locations worldwide. Unlike other major security conferences with a single venue, B-Sides events are decentralized and organized locally. This means there's no fixed date or location for B-Sides. Each event is independently planned by local organizers. Major cities in the world, including San Francisco, London, and Bangalore, have hosted B-Sides events. So Austin says, "Thank you for talking to me. I used to have a CTF team, but I got distracted gaming for almost a year. They said I should focus on the forensics part. I'm just doing forensic walkthroughs." Oh, forensics. Yeah. Is there forensic resources for CTFs anywhere? Yeah, let's talk about it. So there's a lot of forensic stuff on TryHackMe, of course. Both TryHackMe and HackerFrogs have a bunch of stuff on forensics. So if you're talking about forensics, let's see. If you're talking about memory forensics, you probably want to take a look at volatility. Volatility memory forensics, and I think there are a few modules on TryHackMe. Oh, this song is not good. Okay, that's better. So let's just go to tryhackme.com and then search for volatility. No Limit Fitness says definitely should use volatility 3, then you don't need to specify the profile. Well, my experience with volatility is that there are some things that that volatility 3 does well, and there are some things that volatility 2 does well. Let's see. It looks like I have to log in before I can start searching. That sucks. Let me log in. Hold on. Let me grab my No Limit Fitness says, "I'm curious to know what volatility 2 does well." Well, there are certain modules that are available in volatility 2 that are not available in volatility 3, or at least they weren't when I last checked. So I'm looking for my TryHackMe password. Okay, so let me log in to TryHackMe. So Volatility 2 was developed for a long time using Python 2. So there's a bunch of modules from Volatility 2 that they haven't ported over to Volatility 3. So I'm going to search for volatility. No Limit Fitness says, "Oh, I see. I just got done doing a forensics project and only used Volatility 3. Well, I mean, Volatility 2 isn't. I wouldn't say that Volatility 2 is bad. It's just that you have to get used to using the syntax from Volatility 2. Is all. And you need to have a system that can run Python 2 volatility. So I'm looking for stuff that is free. Is there stuff that's free? Maybe there's nothing for free from tryhackme.com. There was another. What are some other platforms? Pentester.com or So No Limit Fitness, if you know any other cybersecurity platform, education platforms that are teaching that have a bunch of forensics challenges, let me know. Let me I want to do a little bit of a search because I knew one just a little while ago. Cyberdefenders.org. Cyberdefenders.org or Let's Defend. Okay, let's take a look. Cyberdefenders. Right. So cyberdefenders.org. Let me sign in. And I am the Shy Hat. So I need to get my OTP verification. Hold on. Very secure, very secure. Oh geez, it's asking me questions. Austin EK asks, do you take CTFs from the chat? CTFs from the chat? Do you have a CTF challenge you want me to solve on the stream? Is that what you're asking me? So let's just say network analysis. Sure. Other. Finish. NA. Let me finish this. Skip for now. What do you want me to take a look at? I might take a look at something, but I'm not necessarily going to solve stuff on stream. So I guess cyber range practice. Okay, I think I can recommend this if you're taking a look at if you want to look at forensics education. So of course there's going to be a bunch of paid stuff on there too, but I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of free stuff that you can take a look at if you want to study about forensics. Can I send it on Discord? Well, you can paste links in this chat. I don't limit people from I don't prevent people from sending links in the chat over here. And let's take a look at Let's Defend as well. Yeah, okay. Blue team training. And let's log in. Okay, so I wonder how much free stuff there is over here. So let's take a look. SOC fundamentals. So, oh, these are a bunch of courses and stuff. Okay. So if you want to learn about defensive cybersecurity stuff, yeah, I wonder if we can. So this looks pretty good. I'll leave the link in here. Notes by Nisha says, I'd like to get more involved with CTFs to even be part of a team after I level up my skills. Well, that's great to hear, Notes by Nisha. Are you looking to... Okay, so I guess what I would recommend, Notes by Nisha, is that you should go over to PicoCTF So picoctf.org over here has the best variety of different challenges. For all sorts of categories. So basically, I'm a big cheerleader for picoctf because it's very well documented. So if you ever get stuck in a challenge, you can always look up the solution on here. The other thing that I would recommend, especially for web app practice, is to take a look at what is it called? Portswigger. Portswigger.net. And they've got their academy over here. So if you want to learn any concept about web app security stuff, you can always use this website right here. So those are two excellent resources if you want to get into CTFs, because Portswigger actually has interactive labs that you can solve. Let me demonstrate for you. Oh, that means I have to get my Portswigger login. And that is the Shy Hat and login. Austin says forensic learning, but more directed to CTFs because it's next month. What is happening next month? Nose Manisha says I have an account on both sites. Well, that's great to hear. I just wanted to point out the labs. So, for example, if we were just learning about directory listing. So let me. So if we're looking at directory listing, hold on. I'm looking at Academy, and then I'm looking at all topics, view all topics. Directory traversal. No, this is not what I'm looking at. Path traversal. This looks different than the last time I was looking at directory. I guess I'm looking at path traversal. Hold on. Oh wait, I think there was even a lab on robots.txt. Let me try searching in here. Austin says, your goal is to break through the wall to access a restricted area with the vital information to dismantle the control of the consortium. What website is this from? Okay, I think this is what we were talking. What I was talking about. So here on Pointswigger, we talk about the robots.txt file, and this is one of the topics we were talking about in today's web app security workshop. Austin says, in Digital Trap, no other URLs are a part of the challenge. The token must be capitalized. Are you asking me to solve a CTF challenge for you? Anyways, let's get back to our original topic. The original topic was talking about conferences. But Notes by Nisha, you are talking about wanting to get more into CTFs. Another good resource for getting into CTFs is ctftime.org. And this website has a bunch of CTFs that are going on all the time. So over here in upcoming events, there are usually CTFs happening like every weekend. And if you want to sign up for one of these, you could definitely do it from here. The only thing that I would caution you about is that most of the CTFs that happen, most of these really small CTFs that happen over the weekend, they're not really big, so there are not very many challenges associated with each of them. And most of the time, the CTF challenges are geared towards are not geared towards beginners, so they can often be quite difficult. So the big CTFs that happen every year that are geared towards beginners are stuff like the US Cyber Challenge, which happened a couple of months ago, and Pico CTF, which happened back in May of this year, so a couple of months ago. But CTF Time over here is a great resource for finding out what CTFs are happening all the time. So if you want to form a CTF team, go ahead and contact me on Teams, and maybe we can ask inside of the community and see if we can find a CTF team for you that way. No Limit Fitness is now a HackerFrog. Hell yes. Okay, so let's celebrate by doing a little redeem. No Limit Fitness. Let's give you Ironbird.
What are you?
I'm System Root.
Hope you enjoyed that. But Nisha, please send me a message over on Teams, and we'll see if we can organize a CTF team. All right, we're talking about B-sides. So B-sides covers the stuff that's in typical convention, cybersecurity conventions, all the usual stuff. So B-sides has generally maintained a positive reputation within the cybersecurity community, and there have been few controversies associated with the conference itself. However, notable news stories related to B-sides include innovation and security. Many B-sides events have been venues for debut of innovative research. Okay, this is not what I was looking for, but we do have a bunch of, wow. I'm interested as to whether or not these B-sides links are for the Las Vegas one, or if they're for some other city. So official website for B-sides. So this is a forum. Yeah, okay. So let's take a look at some of these other links. So for the Facebook page, it doesn't exist. For Twitter, okay, so this is just a general one for B-sides. All right. So let's see. Maybe we can do one more. Does anybody have a favorite security convention that they want to talk about? Oh, we can talk about RSA. All right, so let's talk about the RSA conference. So the RSA conference is a cryptography-focused cybersecurity conference. Let's get a little bit more information about that. Okay, so RSA is even older than DEF CON. So it's conceived as a small cryptography-focused event by RSA Data Security, founded by Ron Rivest, Eddie Shamir, and Leonard Edelman. Okay, so RSA is a very famous encryption method. It's I think it's RSA is a asymmetrical encryption method, and it was designed by these three gentlemen over here. Conference quickly grew in prominence and scope, expanded to cover a broad range of cybersecurity topics and becoming one of the largest and most influential cybersecurity events in the world. So does that mean that they're not cryptography focused anymore? No Limit Cyber asks, what are your main areas in cyber? I'm also a fourth year CS student. CS meaning cybersecurity or CS meaning computer science? No Limits Fitness. My main area of cyber is a general interest in cybersecurity. I wouldn't say that I specialize in any particular topic, but I'm looking to learn a lot more, especially about cryptography and low-level stuff like reverse engineering and binary exploitation, which I also want to start teaching one of these days. But I guess you could call me like a generalist. I'm mostly about web app security and network penetration testing stuff. And oh, the music has stopped. Let me see if I can start the music back up again. Let us do the meditation playlist. Ah, very, very relaxing. Okay, so the RSA conference is held in San Francisco. Hey, it is not in Las Vegas. Nice. So it's usually in February or March. In addition to the main event in the United States, RSA conferences are held in other regions, including the RSA conference in Japan and RSA conference Europe. The RSA conference was founded by the RSA Data Security Company, while RSA is now part of Symphony Technology Group. It's still a key sponsor. The conference itself is organized by a dedicated team. Okay. RSA conference covers a comprehensive range of topics in cybersecurity, so it does everything now. But originally it was limited to just cryptography. But now it does application security, risk management, and all this other good stuff. RSA conference has been involved in several notable controversies and news stories. Ooh, NSA controversy. 2013, reports emerged alleging that the RSA had accepted a $10 million payment from the NSA to implement a flawed cryptographic algorithm in its products. So here we go with more governments trying to pay off companies to introduce vulnerable code that they can use to access as a backdoor. So this led to significant backlash, and in 2014, several prominent speakers and security experts boycotted the RSA conference in protest. So the question is, did RSA accept the payment from the NSA to introduce flawed encryption in their products? Keynote speaker selections. keynote speaker have occasionally sparked debate within the community when speakers from controversial companies or government agencies are invited. Focus on innovation. Okay. So I'm interested. So this sounds kind of juicy and dramatic. We could ask about this. Regarding RSA, what controversial speakers have come up in the past? So the inclusion of political figures as keynote speakers has sometimes sparked debate and controversy. So Condoleezza Rice, which is the former U.S. Secretary of State, was a keynote speaker. Okay, I'm curious as to. Austin asked, "What are you doing?" So this this part of the stream is what we're doing is we're taking a look at cybersecurity conferences and doing some research on various aspects of these conferences and what they're all about. So critics argued that her background in foreign policy and the Iraq War made her an inappropriate choice for a cybersecurity conference focused on technical and policy issues. Yeah. So the conference also faced scrutiny for including speakers from controversial companies or those involved in high-profile security incidents. So we've got Uber CISO Joe Sullivan. Oh, this is relatively recent. So Joe Sullivan, then Chief Security Officer at Uber, spoke at RSA 2017, and shortly thereafter Sullivan was implicated in a controversy including the handling of a major data breach at Uber. His presence at the conference came under scrutiny once the breach details were publicized. Facebook executives. Facebook has raised criticism over its handling of user data and privacy issues, while executives from Facebook have been invited to speak at RSA. It has sometimes led to backlash from attendees concerned about the company's data privacies. There was a recent controversy about Facebook recently, about whether or not they could use your Facebook profile to feed into their AI algorithm. So let me see if I can pull up the news story. So Meta AI training news. So for example, something like this. Brazil has blocked Meta from using Brazilians' Instagram and Facebook posts to train its artificial intelligence AI models. Oh, this is Brazil, okay. And there was recently a YouTube video from cybersecurity channel Shannon Morse. Let's see, Meta. And this was 13 days ago. Let me So this video right here. So if you have some time, go ahead and take a look at this. We're not going to watch the video on stream, but in case you wanted to, here's the link. But it's talking about Instagram and Facebook collecting your photos and posts for AI. So this is another major concern that a lot of people have, whether or not your social media accounts are yours, or if the companies can use everything that you post on social media to feed AI training models. So that's a really big controversial thing happening right now. Okay, so I think we're going to be closing out our stream relatively soon, but let's take a look if there are any other good InfoSec live streamers that are on right now that we can send you all to. To everybody that is on that is on Twitch. We're going to be doing a raid where we send our viewers over to another channel, and I'm thinking of sending you over to the Blaze Bits channel over here. What are they doing currently? They're doing a hacker Q&A and a hacker lab right now, and I think this might be a good channel to send everybody to. Please go over to his channel and please join the raid. Go over to his channel and let them know that you're here, that you're there from the Shy Hat channel. Thank you very much, everybody. So Blaze Bits. We're Hacking Live says Red Team Cobalt Strike. Red Team Cobalt Strike? I'm not too sure what you're talking about. But we're Hacking Live. Welcome to the stream, and thank you that you just you catching the stream at the tail end. We were talking about web app security basics, and then we started talking about. Oh, we're Hacking Live says BlazeBits is doing video clips. Oh, he's just starting now. Okay, all right. So everybody, please tell them that you were there that you're here from the Shy Hat channel. Thank you very much. We're going to be back on Wednesday, and I hope I see you there. We're going to be practicing easy web app application challenges with PicoCTF, and maybe with Portswigger. But until next time, have a great day and stay safe out there. Hack the planet.